worst date ever.
It was that moment that I decided this date was completely over.
I am standing there with my jaw just to the floor.
Ain't no way that just happened to me right now.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Starts kissing my feet on the subway with people watching.
I'm so grossed out. Like, ew. Ugh.
You know, I've heard women say that the bar for men is low when it comes to dating, but I didn't realize just how low the bar was until I started hearing women's dating horror stories. And I realized that some men are apparently trying to push the bar down to subterranean levels. If things continue at the rate they're going, future generations may need to go on a journey to the center of the earth style expedition just to even find the bar. But it's my hope that maybe, if enough men learn from the horrendous mistakes of other men, we can avoid that dystopian future.
Okay, so we go out on this date and we're talking about love languages. And I'm saying mine is acts of service and gift giving. That's how I show love. And he said that that's very narcissistic because that means that I do things to get people's attention.
It's so weird to nag a woman for her preferred love languages. Your love languages are acts of service and gift giving? My love language is words of affirmation, you narcissistic bitch.
And then a couple times throughout the night, he kept saying, you're so lucky to be out with a guy like me. Like, I'm so attractive, I'm so good looking, and you're so average.
God, I'm so good looking and you're so average. I wish I could be you right now so I could look at me instead of looking at you. You know what I would say if someone told me you're so average? I would say, oh yeah, well, you are so mean. As long as we're talking about statistics. So why don't you hop into your mode of transportation, aka your car, and drive over that median in the middle of the road over there and get on out of here. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Throughout the night, he kept trying to like hold my hand or touch me in some way, shape, or form. And I was like, don't touch me. Like, I just met you. I'm not about it.
Okay, so apparently this guy's love languages are physical touch and being a giant douche.
He's telling me that he read this book called 48 Laws of Power, and it basically teaches you how to manipulate people, which is not the concept of the book, but that buying people gifts makes them feel indebted to you. So you use that as a form of manipulation. So I was like, what are you talking about? So is that why you bought me roses?
So he bought her a gift and then said that buying gifts is a manipulation tactic? Hey dude, I don't think manipulation tactics work if you reveal them to the person that you're trying to manipulate. You told me earlier that I'm average. No, I didn't. That never happened. Law of power number 12, gaslighting. Also, using gifts to manipulate people is kind of a lame power. I hope the other laws of power are more impressive than that one. Law of power number 37!
But the icing on the cake. We finished dinner, we're walking down the street. He goes to like grab my hand and then he touches my belly and he goes, can you imagine this? We're married and you're carrying our child. Bends down and kisses my stomach in the middle of the street in broad daylight with people walking around.
I don't know. It's kind of charming in a certain way. Like, I think she's overreacting a bit here. No, I'm kidding. That's completely insane. What if I defended that after criticizing all the other stuff the guy did? He kissed an imaginary child in her stomach on the first date? Yeah, that's pretty cute in my book. Pretty cocky of this guy to think he had any chance of having a child with this woman after all he did was nag her. Unless you can get a woman pregnant by nagging her. Get her negnant. That's what it's called when a guy nags you so hard that you become pregnant. You're negnant. And then when the baby is born, he nags the woman too. Your womb is so average.
Like, ew. I left, I went home, I blocked and deleted this man on everything. Kissed my belly with our imaginary child in it? Are you kidding me right now? Ugh. That's me. That's me right now. Gross.
That is bananas. That is bananas in pajamas. He's like, can you imagine this? You're carrying our 7.5 child. What do you mean 7.5? Well, you're an average 5 and I'm a perfect 10, so obviously our kid is gonna split the difference and be a 7.5. I just hope you're prepared for that. And oh wait, where are you going? I read some of that 48 Laws of Power book once. It's kind of weird. It's not like inherently toxic from what I remember, but like if Andrew Tate had a book club, it would be one of the books he recommends. You know what I mean? It was all about manipulative or duplicitous behaviors that you have to watch out for in people. It kind of makes you feel like you can't trust anybody. It's like Who Hurt You, the book. You know, it is such a messed up world we live in that there's 48 laws of power and only 5 love languages. Tell you what, if I was in charge, there would be 5 laws of power and 48 love languages. Aww. Make love, not laws of power.
One time on a first date, a guy told me that he was not attracted to me, but that he would be willing to have sex with me because he was really horny. as long as I came back to his place.
I guess I'd make an exception for you as long as you come back to my place. And if you hold this picture of Sydney Sweeney over your face while we do it. Wow, that is bonkers. That is bonkers and pajonkers. And what's even crazier than that story is this comment on the TikTok that says, for the first guy, you have to admire his honesty and transparency. Those traits are generally considered to be green flags. And that comment has 4,000 likes. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that probably all the people who like that comment are men. Yeah, you know, you really have to admire when a guy is forward about his sexual thoughts. It's such a rare quality these days. A real green flag. Hey Megan, can I just be honest and transparent with you right now and say, I would love to just motorboat your bazongas all night long. Other men just applauding. As if a woman is gonna hear something like that and be like, oh my God, I love your transparency. Green flag city. I've seen this sentiment online before where some guy in a video makes a thirsty comment to a woman and then other guys defend it by saying, well, he's just being honest and transparent. That's like saying that sending a dick pic to a woman is vulnerable and brave.
Once for our first date, I went for a walk with this guy in a nature reserve, and it was a lot emptier than I expected. And at some point he said, wow, it's crazy. I could just kill you right here and no one would even know.
It's so crazy, isn't it? Isn't what so crazy? I could kill you right now and no one would even know? Duh. Oh, yeah, I don't know. No, I totally could. It would probably be difficult to pull off. No it wouldn't. I could bash your head in with that rock right there, put your body right over there. Easy peasy. I mean, I don't want to murder you, but like, it would be so easy right now that it almost makes me want to try just to see if I could get away with it. Isn't that funny? Yeah, so funny. I don't think you could get away with it though. No, didn't you tell me earlier that one of those true crime podcasts said that only like 50% of all murderers get caught? No, I didn't say that. I said 100% of them get caught. 200% of them get caught. No one's ever gotten away with a crime in the history of time. Oh God, please don't kill me. Hey dude, you don't need to point out that you could murder her. I guarantee you that thought has already crossed her mind. I feel like a lot of guys have this instinct on dates where they want to joke about killing women, but that's kind of a minefield even if you feel like it's obvious that you're joking. I have a personal policy of not talking about that stuff on dates. The only time it ever gets brought up is if the woman I'm with makes a joke about it where she's like, oh, you're not a murderer, are you? And I'm just like, no. Which I don't know if that's a good response or not. For all I know, that might make me seem more suspicious that I'm not going along with the joke. If she's like, you're not a murderer, are you? And I'm just like, no.
This one time a guy asked me if I ever painted my nails, and I said sometimes but not often. Why? And he said, haven't you ever heard the expression, men love their dick wrapped in purple? No, dude, I haven't heard that because I'm fairly fucking sure that's not an expression.
Yeah, I'm a guy and I've never heard that expression. I think this dude might have made that up himself. Really? You've never heard that expression before? Dang, I've been saying it to everyone I meet for years. I was hoping it would have caught on by now. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it is a common expression and I'm just out of the loop. I'll be watching Family Feud one day and the question will be, what do men love their dick wrapped in? Well, I'll be damned.
Worst first date I've ever been on? I was on dating apps. This man messages me out of the blue and he goes, I like your face, let's go get some food. He says, meet me at my house. I drive 45 minutes to his house. He's standing outside of it and he goes, I've lost my keys. Can you drive us there?
I've lost my keys. In other words, he doesn't have a car.
We end up at a Taco Bell. We get to the speaker and he just leans over and goes, I would like 100 hard-shell tacos. Thank you.
Who orders 100 tacos? Is he trying to start his own Taco Bell restaurant?
We get to the window. He does one of these numbers. And I'm like, did you forget your wallet? And he's like, yeah. I was like, do you need me to pay? He's like, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Is it in my pants? Is it in my shirt? Is it in my hair? So he forgot his wallet. In other words, he has no money. How much is that? 100 tacos? It looks like on the Taco Bell menu online, the cheapest hard shell tacos are $1.79. And $1.79 multiplied by 100 is $179. That was straight off the dome. Impressed? When you ask somebody to spot you some cash, it's supposed to be a few bucks, not like $100. Hey, I forgot my checkbook for this down payment on a house. Could you cover that for me?
And I'm like, where to next? And he goes, back to my house. We get to his house, we walk in, his dad is on the couch. I'm like, he lives with his dad. Walk into the kitchen. He just starts emptying the boxes of tacos onto the table, sits down, and he just screams at the top of his lungs, let's feast. We are eating hard-shell tacos in complete silence. You can hear both of us chewing it.
It's so weird to excitedly scream something and then eat in silence. Let's feast! So, what do you do for fun? Shh, no talking during taco time.
The dad walks up, grabs a taco. He's eating over us, just like standing, doesn't sit, stands right next to the table.
The dad is just staring at her while she eats. Hi, I'm Ashley. Shh. No talking during taco time.
It was that moment that I decided this date was completely over, or else I was going to be killed. I walk out with boxes of tacos in my purse. I look back and I was like, thank you for this experience. You will never hear from me again.
So all this guy had to do to get a date with her was say, I like your face, let's get some food. Then he got her to drive 45 minutes to his house, drive them both to Taco Bell, buy 100 tacos for him, and then go back to his house knowing nothing about him. This guy must have been so good looking. He's probably so handsome that he's never paid for food in his life. Other people always buy it for him. He's so handsome that even inanimate objects give him free stuff. When he walks by vending machines, they spit out free snacks at him. As this woman is leaving the date, he's like, wait, you're leaving? But my face. This must be a scam that he pulls on women all the time. When he pulls up to Taco Bell, it's like, welcome to Taco Bell, what can I get for you today? I'd like 100 hard shell tacos. Oh, hey Jeff. In fact, I wonder if it works so often that he got cocky and got the steps mixed up this time, because he ordered 100 tacos and then asked her to pay, which seems backwards. It would make more sense to ask her to pay, and once she's on the hook, then you make the outrageous order. Like that I think you should leave sketch. You get the woman to agree to pay for the food first, and then you go,
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 coke, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas.
At this point, he's probably done this scam successfully so many times that he doesn't even put effort into it anymore. Now, as soon as the woman pulls up to his house, he's just like, lost my keys, forgot my wallet, buy me 100 tacos. And the woman is like, oh, what? Wow, your face. Okay, that's fine. Wait, what's happening? When women see his profile on the dating apps, they're like, why is he surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers in all of his pictures? Well, I'm sure he's developed a reputation with the women in that town by now. They call him Taco Bill. It's actually pretty wild the number of bad date stories I've come across where the guy gets the woman to pay for the food because he forgot his wallet or something. Like the stereotype that you hear people complain about is that women are like, oh, using men as, ATMs just so they can get a free meal. But there's apparently a whole bunch of guys out there pulling this stunt on women.
The poop date. I match with this guy, we go to a nice cocktail bar, we're walking home, and he steps in poop. Mind you, we're in New York City. Anyway, he takes his hand to the bottom of his shoe that is covered in poop, wipes his hand across the bottom of his shoe. So his hand is now completely smeared with poop. And he's staring at it, he goes, oh my god, why did I just do that? And I said, I don't know. Then he chases me with the poop covered hand. He goes, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Chases me down the sidewalk.
I feel like a snake that's unhinged its jaw to digest its prey. I need to let my jaw hang open for a few days as I mentally digest this story. Okay. I'm ready to talk about it. First off, everybody who witnessed this must have dropped their jaw in shock. Even the pigeons. I wouldn't use my hand to wipe anything off my shoe. Even if it was just ketchup on the ground, I still wouldn't use my hand. Also, after wiping the poop on his hand, he asked her why he did it. I'd be like, I don't know why you did that. Why are you asking me? I could study human psychology for 30 years and I wouldn't be able to tell you why you wiped mystery street poop onto your hand. And then he starts chasing her with it. As he's chasing her, he's going, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I don't know. I don't know why you're doing it. Someone please shoot this man. Was he a literal child? Was she on a date with a 5-year-old? How about we go back to my place for some Bluey and chill? No, you know what this is? This is what happens when men who need therapy don't go to therapy. One day, all the mental issues they've been suppressing finally reach a boiling point, and then they're chasing people around town with poop on their hands going, why am I doing this? What's happening to me? Is this illegal? Chasing someone around with poop? If it's not, then we really need to update the law books. Add a section for poop crimes.
Needless to say, I never saw him again because he chased me with poop on our first date.
Oh, thank God. I was worried this was going to be one of those stories that ends with, and that's how I met my husband.
I went on a date with this comedian. He said, let's go to an open mic. I'm going to go and do a set right now. I was like, oh, I didn't know that you were performing. He starts making jokes about murdering his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, a bit of a red flag there. I hope this guy doesn't consider himself to be an observational comedian. Yeah, I'm a comedian. I do relatable observational humor. Hey folks, you ever murder your ex-girlfriend?
Nobody's laughing. He absolutely bombs. He gets off stage and he's like, I think we should go to a bar. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, sure.
She was like, I mean, I guess this date isn't going that badly. I saw a woman on a date earlier getting chased by a guy with poop on his hands. I'll give this dude a chance.
But I was like, okay, sure. He looks at me and he's like, I just want to worship you. I want to touch your feet and I want to be your pet dog.
He jumped into that way too quickly. So, you want to go to a bar? Oh, also, can I be your dog? You have to build up to a question like that, man. You have to go like, hey, I've got a question. Well, how do you feel about dogs? Let's start there. Also, he wants to worship her and be her dog. Those don't seem related. I've never seen a dog worshiping their owner. Although, maybe that's what they're doing when they stretch out their front legs. Maybe they're actually bowing.
And I'm like, I'm actually going to go, like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'll walk you to the subway.
He's like, walk? We're gonna go for a walk?
He gets down on his hands and knees and starts kissing my feet on the subway with people watching. He's like, I'm your dog, I worship you, I love you, like, please tell me what to do. And I was like, literally get the off me. Like,
well, he probably liked that because she was technically telling him what to do. I feel like humiliation must be part of this guy's filet-o-fish, if you get my drift. Maybe the bombing on stage was part of that. Like he was bombing on purpose because he liked it. Everyone's booing and he's like, yes. You know, there's so much weird stuff happening around subways anyway that the other people probably didn't even notice this guy kissing her feet. There were probably 2 other guys also kissing women's feet at the same time this was happening.
I texted him, was like, I'm unfortunately, like, not interested.
He texts her back and it just says woof. All of his texts are just the little paw emojis from that point on.
And he was like, what? Like, I don't understand.
Did I do something wrong? Was I not a good boy? You're not a dog, Jeff.
And I kid you not, a week later, I leave my apartment and he's like walking outside my apartment.
Whoa, that's creepy. Is he out there waiting for her every day? He's like Fry's dog in Futurama, waiting his whole life hoping for the day when this woman comes back and agrees to let him be her dog.
I immediately like pull up my phone. I'm like, literally leave me the alone. Like, I don't like you. Hello? So then I blocked him and we never spoke again.
Damn. I guess this guy is really in the doghouse with her. Well, that's weird. I think we can confidently say that guy does not have much luck on the dating scene. And I think we can also confidently say what his favorite position in bed is.
Put a finger down if you went on a first date with a guy and he asked you if you knew who your father was and you were like, yeah, I know who my dad is. Do you know who your dad is? That's kind of a weird way to start a conversation. Why are you asking? And he's like, just wondering. And then about an hour in, you catch him trying to take a piece of your hair. And you're like, excuse me, what are you doing? And he was like, nothing. Oh, sorry, you just had a piece of hair attached to you. And I'm like, that's attached. That was attached to my head. What are you doing? And he was like, nothing. Sorry about that. You continue to sit there for another 15, 20 minutes. You're about an hour and a half in. And then you get up to leave. You go to give a hug goodbye. And he grabs your hair from the back of your head and like yanks a little bit. To which you jump back and scream, what in the is wrong with you? What are you doing? And he was like, I'm pretty sure you're my sister.
What was he trying to do? Yank all the hair out of her head? So your hair is real, just like mine. I think we might be related.
You went on a full-on date with me thinking I was your sister. Why? To try to steal my hair? So then he tells you that he figured out who his father was, and apparently his father has like 30 other children, so he's matching with women on the internet and going on dates with them to try to figure out if they're his sister, and he's picking people that has similar features to him.
So if a woman does turn out to be related to him, does he text them afterwards and go, hey, I had a good time on our date, but I just feel like we're not really compatible, like on a DNA level? And how does he find his brothers? Does he go on Grindr? I don't know. This is such a bizarre way of tracking down blood relatives that I'm not sure I buy the story. I think this is probably his filet-o-fish. He's got a thing for women's hair, and the sibling story is just a cover-up that he blurts out when he gets caught. Hey, what is that over there? Ow! What are you doing? Oh. You noticed that? Yes, I noticed that. You pulled the hair out of my scalp. That was still a part of me. Okay, look, I found out my father had a bunch of other children and I meet women on dating apps to see if we're siblings. That doesn't make sense. Wouldn't it be way more efficient to just message women and tell them that way instead of going on dates with them? Maybe he was a bald guy who was really bitter about other people having hair. If I can't have hair, no one can. I guess if your biological father really did sire a bunch of other children and someone really does look a lot like you, it's not that far-fetched that you might be related. Maybe this woman and the guy do look really similar. He looked exactly like her, but with a mustache. By the way, the word sire is way too fancy sounding for how little a man actually does in the child-making process. Yes, I've sired a child.
My 5-minute date just left because he pulled the mother and my friend just got in a car crash type shit on me. I'm like, no. I look exactly like my profile photo. I literally sit down at the bar. He picks up his phone. He puts it down. And he's like, oh, my homie's calling me again. And I'm like, okay. I look over and I'm like, motherfucker, that's your home screen. Ain't nobody calling you. And then he sits back down and he's like, my friend got in a car crash. And I'm like, oh, did he now? You're lying. but whatever. Oh, what are you doing this weekend? Maybe we can hang out. No!
I understand that the fake emergency phone call is actually a useful thing for getting out of a particularly bad or scary date, especially for women. So I'm not going to hate on the tactic itself, but I do think it's funny to think about someone who's so bad at it that they're obviously lying. So what kind of books do you like? Oh, well, lately I've been into some nonfiction and a little bit of history and... Oh, oops, I seem to be getting a call. I normally don't answer phone calls on a date, but this sounds like it might be important. Hello? What? No. Say it isn't so. An asteroid 100 miles wide is headed for this city? Oh, dang. I gotta get out of here, then. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Well, that was 911. They said that there's an asteroid 100 miles wide headed for this city? Oh, dang. 911 called you. Usually you have to call them. Yeah, no, I guess they're doing this thing now where like they're calling you to let you know about the asteroid that's headed for the city. So yeah, I guess I should probably go. Oh no, that means we're gonna have to cut the date short. Oh, dang. That's too bad. You know, an asteroid 100 miles wide would destroy the whole Earth. You wouldn't be able to escape it. Right. What's that? Oh, the asteroid is only 10 miles wide, you say? Oh, phew. So there's still a chance of survival, as long as I leave right now. Thanks for the update, Professor. Okay, so they said the asteroid is only 10 miles wide, actually? I heard you. Yeah, so I guess I should go. Dang, that's... Well, you know, I also remembered I have a dentist appointment today at 2, and I don't want to be late for that, so I should probably go. Wow, this just turned out to be like a bad day for a date, I guess. Why would you go to a dentist appointment today if an asteroid is about to hit the city? Well, because there's still time to, What's that? Oh, there's enough time for appointments before the asteroid strikes, you say? Oh, thank goodness. You're talking to a banana. You know, if you don't feel like the date is going well, you can just say that. You don't have to do an elaborate lie like this. Yeah, so... You want to bang at my place? Well, if there's a takeaway from all these stories, I think it's that all you single women out there need to listen to your gut. If something feels wrong on a date, it just might be. As the wise Peppy from Star Fox 64 said,
Trust your instincts.
Anyway, if you haven't seen my previous video about bad first dates, you can check that out here. And also hit that subscribe button to join my clubhouse. I'm building a clubhouse of the coolest people on YouTube, and all you gotta do to join is hit that subscribe button.